I never wavered. I never faltered. I wasn't like, oh, it's too hard, I'm gonna give up. In 2015, I was able to pay myself like $1,500 a month or something. And we had doubled from 2013 to 2014. We had done 30,000 in 2013 and then 60,000 in 2014, and then we did 120, 250, 550. Like we kept doubling, and we're still doubling to this day.
Okay.
If you're trying to start something, you got to sacrifice and reduce living expenses, because that's the killer of small businesses, is you have to still pay your bills.
Cash flow.
None of us got paid. We were all working separate gig jobs, and I was going to college, getting paid from the government, the Army US GI Bill thing. So I was getting my money from that, and I was working on SHEATH in the process, and was cleaning golf carts in 2014, well into SHEATH. I was delivering Chinese food.
This is a conversation with Robert Patton, the CEO and founder of SHEATH Underwear. He tells how he got the idea while he was serving in Iraq, and he had the tailor, I'll have to let you listen to this episode, no spoilers. He talks about in the beginning how he was basically just sacrificing a bunch and making no money, but he stayed true to it, and now they're doing pretty well, as you just seen in the clip right before this. They've done some cool things and are projected to do even more cooler things, and I'm actually happy to announce them as our newest sponsor. And that's a perfect segue into this next part. Before we get started with the show, I'd like to thank our sponsors.
One of our sponsors is Recon Marketing. Recon is the fastest growing social media marketing agency in Colorado. Recon focuses on becoming an extension of your business while providing social media management, review management, and digital marketing. Recon Marketing, putting you on the radar. Our next sponsor is Atmos Planning. Atmos Planning is changing the way business owners and real estate investors are served by the financial industry. Their website is atmosplanning.com, atmosplanning.com. Our next sponsor is Planet Duct. Planet Duct offers astronomical air duct cleaning with the most powerful vacuum trucks in Colorado. They have taken air duct cleaning to a new intergalactic level that is far more powerful and proactive than anything on the market in El Paso County and southern Colorado.
SHEATH Underwear. SHEATH Underwear has a pouch for the boys. It is everyday underwear for every man. 100% money back on the first pair if you don't like it. Visit sheathunderwear.com and enter the code COSBP20 to get 20% off your order. That stands for Colorado Springs Business Podcast. That's our specific code.
So now let's get on with the show.
Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, the #1 podcast in Colorado Springs. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. Today I'm sitting here with Robert Patton, owner of SHEATH Underwear, man. How's it going?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. It's cool how we met. We met in this hallway. So that was an interesting connection, Synchronicity, that's what it is. Yeah. And it's another thing about synchronicity. If you go to your website, I don't know if you've ever been there. Have you been there?
A couple times.
Okay. If you go to your website, the first female model that you have on there, I've hired her for events before. I was like, hey, I know Sydney.
Sydney
so,
B.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's a badass.
She's been working out a lot.
Yeah.
She's like a fit model or something. I don't know what's going on, but she's like super hard body, and
for sure,
good for her.
And see, I didn't even know that she did female underwear.
I think it just sort of happened. Eric Cooper Photography.
Yeah,
he's here local, and he's done a lot of our photography, and he hooks us up with some models from time to time. So
nice.
Took advantage of that.
Did he do the photography for Michael Malice?
That's right.
He did do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's awesome. I don't know if I should. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You recently had Michael Malice out here in Woodland Park in the Springs area. And I remember listening to that episode. He was like, he's like a big New Yorker. He loves the city, and he's like, he's like, you don't know how it feels until you're actually out here in the mountains, especially in Woodland Park. It's grandiose.
Yes, it's a big change from New York, and we're honored to have him out. He's been on Rogan quite a few times, and he's just a really good guest to have on a podcast. He's so full of information.
Yeah, and he's funny.
He's hilarious. And very witty.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter. He's always cutting up and trolling people. I enjoy.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
And he's a best-selling author in the whole world on Amazon over Barack Obama and Oprah Winfrey and everyone.
Wow.
And so we had him on, and that was really exciting. Big, event for me, biggest guest, and I was really nervous, but we got through it, and
yeah.
It's just been fun, because I have my own podcast, the Robert Patton Global Podcast, and you'll be coming on here in
Yeah,
September.
I can't wait, man. Yeah, and I was gonna say, hey, let's shout that podcast out. And I remember you said that you were nervous doing the Michael Malice one. And I remember another thing from his episode. He was like, when you guys started the episode, he literally said, "Are you as nervous as I am?" to you.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Hey, I noticed you're nervous." You know.
That's funny.
But no, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he was totally just playing along. He's really good. To hang. We hung out, did the photo shoot, ate, and then he was only here for like 22 hours.
Okay.
He spent the night at my house, and then just took him to the airport
Nice,
early the next morning and took him back. So, but we'll be releasing a pair with him. That's like a collaboration pair in a couple of months. And, he's just always shouting us out, and we're really happy to have such an intellectual guy of high stature representing our product and speaking about it. And our product is Sheath underwear, by the way.
That is Sheath, yes.
So it's just really cool because, having a credible person speak on your behalf is a huge credibility.
No, for sure. I definitely agree, So, all right, we're going to dive more into your business and everything, how you got started, maybe some challenges you've had to overcome. But first, we're going to roll the intro music, and then we'll get started.
Cool.
This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs doing things in the community of Colorado Springs.
It's recorded though, so it's in there. It'll be in the final product.
Nice. This is high production.
Yeah,
I
I
like
appreciate that. Yeah. Like this, we put a lot of work into this show. It's grown over the last 2 years. The first 2 episodes were audio only. Then I instantly was like, we need to add video. That video was a live video, and it was crappy, recorded on a phone, bad lighting, overexposed. The next video, I wasn't worried about the video. I just throw my camera up, go to people's offices or wherever their businesses was, and record an interview there, like not really having a structure, really kind of stumbling over words and all that, but
I've been there.
Yeah,
Still there, maybe.
Okay. But yeah, so the Robert Patton podcast, that's what it's called?
Robert Patton Global. So RPG was like a play on words, role player game. Robert Patton Global.
Yeah, RPG. Yeah, that's what I'll probably type in the description for this.
Rocket propelled grenade.
Rocket propelled grenade. Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever played with a rocket propelled grenade?
I have
before?
actually.
Okay.
I was in the Army, and I was chosen in basic training. Only one person got to shoot it, and my platoon or drill sergeant chose me, and I thought it was an honor. But when you shoot that thing, it's like getting punched in the face, and I think they were laughing at me.
Oh wow.
It was like a shock to your dome.
Oh, do you hold it to your head?
Like this, jiggy.
Oh, okay.
And there was a tank, 200 yards away, and I shot it. It was pretty cool, but
wow, on purpose?
Yeah,
okay.
we were in a range. We were on a range.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And because there was our whole basic training unit was there, so we couldn't all shoot them. I don't know why they picked me, other than I think they were trying to mess with me.
Pick on you. Yeah. Let me check something real quick. I'm gonna turn the volume up in my headphones just a little bit. Is it quiet for you guys?
A little bit, but yeah.
It's cool though. All right, sounds good. All right. So yeah, that's cool, man. So Sheath. When did you start Sheath?
I started it like the born on date is June or July of 2010. If you go to our Twitter, you'll see we started it way back then. We started sheathunderwear.com, SHEATH underwear.com in 2010, but it was a very bare bones face. You couldn't even buy it on there. It would link you to eBay back in the day, and I had only ordered 1,000 pairs on my first order, which I had worked on between 2008 and 2010, and when I had the idea.
Yeah.
Which was I was in the Army. I was just mentioning that. I was in Iraq on my second tour when I felt some irritation downstairs, so to speak. And
okay.
It's really hot. So guys that know when it gets really hot, that that's one of your hottest parts of your body, and it can become uncomfortable. And it was so hot in Iraq, obviously, and I was just really uncomfortable, and it was one of those necessity is the mother of invention type things. I was like, I wonder if I was like a pouch down there, and it would separate my boys from my legs. Yeah. That's really all I wanted, and I wouldn't be having this discomfort, and I could go about my life. And so I went online. We had online ability there in Iraq at this time in 2008, and I searched and couldn't find anything. And I said, since the days of Jesus, nobody's invented this? Are you out of your mind? Like, seriously?
It's crazy the things that haven't been invented yet.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean, and some people will say, well, you just created a problem to create a solution or whatever. But every guy knows, and you all know, you had the stickage, okay? So this prevents that. And I couldn't find it online. So I went and had some made. I literally went to the PX there I was in Tikrit, Iraq, Camp Spiker, 2008 summer. And I went to our PX, bought some underwear, bought a couple packages, some scissors and whatnot.
Oh, you made them yourself?
Well, I cut the pattern out, and then I went to the tailor that was on base, and they would sew up, uniforms and
They've
stuff.
got on-base tailors? I didn't even think about that.
Always got to be sharp, high and tight in the
Yeah.
army. And so but they'd never done underwear. So this audio is really good, actually.
Hey, thanks.
So when I presented it to them, they kind of snickered a little bit. And so I was, but they still did it because I was like, sew this pouch on the inside of the underwear right here. And then they snickered, but I always say now I'm laughing last or whatever. But
by snicker, they were like mocking it?
a little bit,
Okay.
like, what is this?
Okay, yeah, but you had the vision, and you were determined, and this was the first baby steps.
Yeah, it was the very first baby step. I have a picture that one of my platoon sergeant took for me. She wasn't my platoon sergeant, but anyways, she outranked me.
Yeah.
She took a picture of me holding it, and the pouch was really small, and you can see it on our Kickstarter video. And if you look up Sheath Underwear Kickstarter 2013, you'll see me holding it up, and that was the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, I really I wanted. Did you guys use it? You guys started Kickstarter really helped kick this off, right? It was a lot of the big initial funding that you needed to actually take this seriously, right?
Yeah.
And so, I was interested about your strategy on that. Like, was it a video you guys used? What kind of video? Was it professionally made? Was it shot on the phone?
So that was 5 years after the invention. There was a couple of trials and tribulations before that, but the inspiration behind it was obviously Sheath. But we looked at a lot of other videos that were on Kickstarter that were successful. What are they doing? Let's kind of emulate that. And there was a company called Barbell Jeans that they're still around. They were successful. Joe Rogan talks about them to this day. He wears them, which is cool. And we saw their video, and we didn't copy it, but there was some inspiration from that. There was some inspiration from this company called Flint and Tinder. I know he was like, we need a little bit of Flint and Tinder to bring manufacturing back to America. And it was a cool, like, gimmicky thing. And I know they put a package of matches in every order when they were successful, and I ended up doing that. The one thing I copied was, those little matches, a little matchbook. It's like a penny.
Okay.
Maybe 10 cents. I might be getting that wrong, but it's like so cheap. It's cheaper than
and it's fire.
It's fire. They're not going to throw away a business card. They're going to throw away a business card. These they keep, and we for the longest,
it actually provides value and gives something they can use.
And your branding and website's on there, and then it's just a little throw in, just a little tip.
Yeah, it's a penny, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. But how many do you have to get it to the penny?
Like $250 worth, and
it
was was like 2,500 of those things.
Wow, yes, that is good. I like that. We might have to try some of that idea.
Sudek USA, SUDEK. That's the company I got that from.
Okay. But yeah, with all these wildfires, though, I don't know if I want to.
We haven't done it in a while. People started, making complaints. Sometimes. So we toned that down, but I thought it was added value for a penny.
There's an online thing called Sweetwater. They do like audio gear and like a bunch of gear stuff for like equipment for like video production or audio production, mostly audio production. It's called Sweetwater. And I remember I ordered from them a long time ago, and they're only online. They may have like one retail location, but I ordered from them a long time ago, some of my first gear that I bought, and it just always stuck with me, and it makes sense. They're called Sweetwater too, but they would always put candy in all their orders, like just extra things. And at first I was like, I don't know if I could trust this candy, but I was like, of course I can. Like, it's just candy. But that was cool. It's little things like that added that value, and it made me remember them. And I think they still do that to this day. I'm not sure. That was like a decade ago. So yeah, but they're really successful now, and they do some good stuff. Just the little tidbit, a little extra, something to just play off of what you just said.
Well, and that's one of the principles of success. Do more than is asked of you. Go the extra mile. Give a little more value than you're paid for, and then you might throw your brand on there in the process.
Exactly, yeah. And I've actually realized recently that, go the extra mile, but also set some boundaries, like don't let people push. Don't be a pushover. Don't let people, because some people will push that. They'll push, okay, he did this for me. What else will he do for me? What else will he do for me?
Speaking of which, I have a story where this guy from Switzerland, it was about 2 months ago, he asked us to send him a bottle of Sir Kensington ketchup.
What?
He said, I know, right? So he was in New York. He tried it at this deli. He loved it. He went back home. He can't find it anywhere. Can't buy it online. He's buying our underwear, and he asked us to send him this ketchup. And we sent him the ketchup.
Nice.
And so,
that's a random request, though.
I know, and it was one of those tests. I was thinking of the universe saying, are you really going to do what you practice what you preach? If so, and now, like you said, if he starts asking us to send him ketchup all the time, probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
If everyone starts asking us to send him ketchup, sorry. But in these instances where you can make a moment remarkable to talk about on a podcast, you go ahead and do it. And
well, I'm confused about ketchup. Why? Is this a special client, or is this just? How did that happen?
Sir Kensington ketchup, you'd have to try it. It's pretty good. I ended up buying some, and I was like, okay, this is fucking real. Excuse me, this is really good. And so it was just a random request, and the reason I thought about it is because I used to listen to Gary Vaynerchuk.
My dude.
Yeah, and he talks about just that type of thing. But he said, in a opposite kind of scenario, don't wait to be asked, but find one of your biggest value customers, find their Twitter feed, find out that they love Brett Favre or whoever they love.
I know exactly what you're
that
talking
story,
about. Yeah.
and he bought him a jersey, autographed jersey, and sent it to him. And, and then that
a
guy,
Jets cake for Gary V or something like that.
yeah. And so exactly. Get them something personalized for them, and they'll never forget you, and they'll tell other friends for the rest of their lives.
Exactly. But where I'm confused at is, why did he have the idea to ask a random request?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't like he had ordered once before. I don't know. I think he was probably joking.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he didn't think we would send it. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yes, that's cool. So we were talking the other day at your house. You have a small team, right? For Sheath. You personally manage like the emails, right? Or not the emails. You do something though.
I do a lot. I manage the bank account. I manage my team of 10 people. I do a lot of the promotion. I'm trying to get more into podcasts, which I feel is the next form of social media, where it's not Twitter, it's not 140 or 280 characters. It's long form conversations. You're getting to know me really for real, kind of,
sure,
as opposed to this opinion I might put out on Twitter.
Exactly.
Disagree with or something. And so I'm doing a lot of the outreach. I used to do everything though. I mean, it started with just me. I have it tattooed on my back. I'm
gonna get Vehement tattooed somewhere.
Yeah,
my
I'm
brand.
committed for the long haul.
For sure, that's awesome. But so it was your brother. You said your brother. He's the one who answers the phones.
My wife.
Okay.
And actually, no. Anyway, so Steven answers the phone. I have a small team. 10 people. Steven, Raul, Phil, Katie, Sean, my wife, and David, and Felicia. And
it's like a family, huh?
Yeah. So, and we all live remotely, except my wife lives with me. But we did all start in the same house, though, which was pretty cool. In 2013, in the midst of that Kickstarter, me, my brother, and 3 former teammates. I think, are there any of them left that were originally with us? I can't remember. I think it's just us still. And so we fought, but ultimately the whole team was living in this house, and so that helps save expenses. Like if you're trying to start something, you got to sacrifice.
Yes.
And pair up with, pair up with people, get second jobs, reduce living expenses, because that's the killer of small businesses, is you have to still pay your bills.
Cash flow.
Yeah. So if you can minimize your bills, that'll give you some more runway to make things happen. And by doing that, none of us got paid. We were all working separate gig jobs, and I was going to college, getting paid from the government, the Army U.S. GI Bill thing. So I was getting my money from that, and I was working on SHEATH in the process, and was cleaning golf carts in 2014, well into SHEATH. I was delivering Chinese food.
Oh, so you're doing jobs
pull from the company.
Nice. That's smart. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of things like that recently too right now. So, I mean, it's got what you got to do, I think. I'm only 2 years into my business, so it's like
it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do some dirty work and do it. Just you could do what you need to do.
Exactly.
And people want to take from the company way too soon. I didn't take from the company for 5+ years. I only put in for that whole time.
For sure. Yeah. So when did you start seeing things start taking off?
2015, I was able to pay myself. I had just coincidentally got my master's degree, but it was 2014 when we had done our second Kickstarter that the company became a daily revenue source of revenue. But I still wasn't taking out. Maybe I took a little bit, but in 2015 I was able to pay myself like $1,500 a month or something.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so you said a second Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. So what does that look like?
It looks like your first Kickstarter was successful. You get all your product, you send it to the people, they love it, they want more. You order more. You just go back and order more from your manufacturer because you got this rolling money fund. I was going to say
Mund fee.
Fund money and cash flow. But when we sent our money to the production manufacturer, they sent me a product that I couldn't sell, so it was worthless, and I was out that money. They ended up giving me like 30% back, but that wasn't enough to buy. I had to find a new company and start over. Basically, we had to start over. But I never wavered. I never faltered. I wasn't like, oh, it's too hard, I'm gonna give up. I was like, okay, we got to do another Kickstarter. And we didn't know if you could do another Kickstarter. And it was almost like shameful. You're going to ask for money again?
Yeah.
But we always fulfilled our obligation. We gave them what they paid for. The people, so when we did our second Kickstarter, a lot of the people from the first Kickstarter supported us again, and we doubled what we had done in the original Kickstarter. So it was after that when we were able to just keep growing. We doubled, and we had doubled from 2013 to 2014. We had done 30,000 in 2013, and then 60,000 in 2014, and then we did 120, 250, 550. We kept doubling, and we're still doubling to this day.
Okay.
And
550 what? What do you mean?
550K.
Okay,
so
nice. Okay.
30,000, 60,000, 120, 250.
Wow, and you're still doubling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why I say if we keep it up, we'll be like billionaires very quickly. But
for sure. So have you considered the idea of what if Hanes comes to you and wants to give you a lot of money?
500 million.
Okay.
Is something I would consider.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so it's Hanes. Now you know.
That's the price. But I don't want to. I love what I do. I don't want to sell it. I'm semi-seeked upon for I don't know. People think I'm important or something.
Okay.
And I like that.
For sure.
People
like feeling important. Sure.
Yeah, I like to feel important. And I feel like if I just have 500 million, I'm going to live in this mansion in the mountain and never be seen again.
Your purpose will be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay. So on that note,
you'd probably find something.
Well, probably, hopefully, yes. But a lot of soldiers don't. And I don't want to get too dark, but I think SHEATH in many ways saved my life because a lot of us soldiers go from a war zone where we come back heroes, we're considered important, society reveres us and stuff. But when you get out, you're kind of lost in the wind. You're not a soldier anymore, so you don't have that going for you, and nobody terribly cares that you're a veteran, because like, okay, well, what are you going to do now? And then what are you going to do now? And a lot of guys turn to drugs and alcohol and lose their fucking mind.
For
you
sure,
know,
yeah.
and kill themselves. And that's where I was going with that, you know, and I've had a handful of people from my unit, friends, kill themselves. And that's one thing I love about SHEATH is the purpose. My team, my unit, my army, so you know, of SHEATH is my passion and purpose, drive and inspiration.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool that it's like you were able to find that, and like you also found out why you were deployed as well. Like, but you were able to have that purpose driven thing. Well, wait a second. Yeah, no worries. What was that? Was that Bob Marley?
Yeah. Three Little Birds.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I could play that on the ukulele actually.
Nice.
If I remember. It's been like a few months, but yeah, dude. So I forgot what I was. Oh yeah, so that's awesome, man. So SHEATH. What were some of like some obstacles you were facing with growing it? Like what was that moment where you're like, I want to give up, you know, but you didn't apparently. If that moment is there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that moment ever occurred. I know that so in 2013 when I got that batch, I didn't know it was unsellable. Like the second batch from the Kickstarter, where we had, the first one was fine, everyone loved them, they wanted more. We reorder and they sent it this unsellable pair, but they looked okay on the outside, and it took me like 3 months for it to sink in that there was something wrong with them. I knew the pouch was too low, and then I was thinking that the percentage wasn't that bad or something. I was like, if I open the packages, I'm gonna see for sure that they're all messed up, and then I'm gonna know. And I didn't do it for quite a while, but I remember one night I just started opening. I'm like, oh my God, every single one is messed up. And so that's when I was like, okay, we like shut it down basically. But the website, so that we weren't selling any more of those
for sure, yeah,
bad products. But I never thought we're done. I was just like, okay, what are we going to do now? And I think it was that moment when I wasn't going to quit, you know. It was like there was no question. And you know, I read these books and they talk about the man who like perseveres, and the universe will rearrange itself for the man who won't give up on his dreams. And it'll like give in and say okay and give you what you want.
It's true. I believe that. Yeah.
And me too. It's like the hero's journey. And I didn't give up. And as luck would have it, fate would have it, a manufacturer from the gods showed up and asked if they could make a sample for me. And I said, you're right on time. Yeah. And so I sent them one of the good ones and had them recreate it. But what they did was they made it better. Oh. And so when I got it back, I was like, this isn't what I sent. But when I put it on, I was like, ooh, this is good.
Okay, yeah. What aspect of it did they make better?
Just the pouch was a little bit wider and just a little more roomy. Okay. I think mine was like snug as a rug and a bug backwards, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And people liked that. A couple of people were like, oh, I like that one better, but this one is a more for a universal fit. Mine was like customized for my own body and anyways.
Yeah. You tailored it up.
Yeah. But this was universal fit. And so, but I was still, you know, I say I wasn't going to quit, but I was nervous. I was scared. I was worried, sleepless nights. Like how is this going to work out? And in the middle of those two Kickstarters, after I had that sample, when I would have those feelings, I mean, I recall as vivid as yesterday, going in my closet, grabbing that pair off the shelf, taking my pair off and putting those on. And it would, like a warm rush of refreshing, whatever, comfort would wash over me. And I was like, it's going to work. It's going to work.
I get what you're saying. You were like, you felt that relief from that first initial punch in the face. And you're like, yes, this is it. You know, like.
Well, I knew the product was good. I was like, this is good. I know this is good. If I like it, we're not that different. You know, our body shapes aren't that different. Some guys have short, long, this and that, whatever. But for like most average guys, which were all pretty average, I mean, obviously that's the average.
Yeah.
So They're great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. So they are pretty comfortable. I've worn them before, so
Yes.
the fabric is also very nice. And I like the design of it. They just look good too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if you'll know. Like, and some people might be like, and you might be at first and then know later. But a lot of guys, you put it on and they'll tell stories of going downstairs and dancing in their underwear.
Okay.
in front of their family at Christmas. I've had, if you read the reviews, people love them. I mean, and so. You have to try them for yourself. The proof is in the pudding. We have the first pair free. If you don't like it, we have a 100% money back guarantee. Okay. We rarely get returns, but we will honor it. You don't even have to send it back. And like you said, okay. So the feature, the sheath, the pouch is the main function of the underwear. Yeah. But if you don't wear the pouch, they're underwear.
Exactly.
They're still great underwear, like you said. So it's a win-win. You can't lose. Veteran-owned company, local. Support us.
Yeah.
SHEATHunderwear.com.
Yeah. So what are some of your main questions you get? I already have an idea of what one of them would be.
So a lot of people put them on inside out for some reason.
They come inside out, but I think
yes.
I think that's the show what the product is, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, don't wear underwear," and I would say to them, "You hillbilly." I say, I understand why you don't wear underwear, because underwear suck. Because all it does is smash your boys up into your body, or you're like flailing all around all over the place. Why wear underwear? These underwear serve a purpose, a function. They keep you situated in a holster, if you will, for your gun,
a sheath, if you will,
sheath for your sword, a pouch for your Joey. You get the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the people love them, and questions, they want more styles, they want different options for, we don't have an American brief, we have a French cut brief, but we have mostly the boxer cut with boxer shorts, trunks, and long leg shorts. But people,
how do the boxer shorts ones work?
Okay, sorry, boxer briefs.
Okay, boxer briefs.
But
okay.
I do have boxer shorts in product, the developmental phase. I've actually made those way back in the day.
So are they like spandex in the center and loose on the out, or
you know how they're like boxer shorts, like skater boxer shorts that people wear, like the plaid ones, the traditional, your baggy pants.
Oh yeah, I used to have those when I was younger.
Same. And that's what and a lot of people still rock them, and they're good, except for you're all over the place now. And so the outside of all these underwear look exactly the same as every other pair of underwear, the boxer short, the boxer brief, whatever. It's the inside that has the pouch. And so when you put them on, you just slide in there, and the rest is gravity, kind of. And just, it's ergonomically fit to your body. We're not the only other company, and I'm not afraid to say them other brand names.
For sure.
Saks underwear. Saks is a big
brand.
That's
funny. Yeah.
And it is kind of funny play on words.
Yeah.
Ball, get it?
Yeah.
And they're in every store, all these stores everywhere. And we're here local in Rutledge's, if you guys wanted to just go to a store here locally.
Okay.
But Saks is also there, and you'll see Saks has a better display. They have a mannequin that shows the pouch, and our pouch is better. You'll just have to see for yourself or try them both. I have made a YouTube video about the difference between us and Saks. You can watch that, and there's just a different kind of pouch. And we actually have a dual pouch, which is a whole other thing. It separates the Frank and the beans and the bean and all that. Whereas, and that's just a little bit extra. You don't always have to use either pouch, So
yeah, I mean, when I was wearing them, I found myself sometimes, not using the pouch.
Exactly.
But I would prefer to use the pouch. Though.
Well, and here's
I'm
the
just
thing.
not in the habit of it.
Well, one of the things that's different with the weather here, although it's been very hot recently, is the weather is typically pretty cold.
And not humid.
And not humid. So where we have the majority of our sales is in from Texas to Florida.
Oh, okay.
Where it's just whatever, swamp.
Yeah.
Swamp balls.
Yeah, swampy. It's swampland down there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used it for running or anything, but I would like to test that out to see how that works, because it sounds like
marathon in them.
Okay, yeah.
So, and people say for cycling, for horseback riding, because what it does, also, it's keeping them from touching your legs. Sorry, but it's keeping them like up a little bit. So older dudes, you guys have seen YouTube videos where they're like hanging down from their shorts or whatever. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But like, and they'll sit on them. And if you jump on them, you're never gonna jump on a motorcycle, right? And just like jump and sit. With Sheath, you can kind of jump and sit on a horse because it just you're not gonna squish anything.
Yeah.
But don't do that. Actually, don't just get on real gently. But
Yeah. I'm gonna like you should make a video with people jumping on motorcycles.
get Stevo to do his
Yeah.
like, little jump off of like a building onto a motorcycle. And
Yeah. Have you guys thought about sponsoring Stevo's podcast?
No.
Okay.
No, we sponsor so many podcasts.
Yeah, you sponsor a lot. Yeah.
It's a matter of time, and I love podcasts. Thank you so much for having me on here, by the way. I love listening to them. I love participating in them, and I love sponsoring them because it's a new form. Like I was saying earlier, like F Twitter and Facebook. This is it right here.
Do you see return on your investment for
Oh yeah,
for the podcast? Is it huge?
For Michael Malice, it is. I'll tell you that. And for a lot of them, it is. But like you get these ones like Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's a UFC fighter. We started sponsoring his, and we lost. Bill Burt is a huge podcast. Bill Burr
and
Burt Kreischer. Total loss.
Oh, okay.
But
why do you think that is?
They're too big. They, and they started doing these dynamic ads where
not as niched.
Yeah, and it's Bill read it, which was awesome. I love Bill Burr. If you guys don't know who he is, he's one of the funniest comics alive. And I have him reading his little ad read about Sheath snickering when it talks about the pouch. And so I don't even know if he ever even tried it. That's the thing. I don't like these deals where we're just paying them to say it. And I feel like
Michael genuinely loves it, and he's expressed that.
Exactly.
He's made that like he's made a lot of videos about it too. Just like he'll put it in the title and everything. He really likes the brand.
He funnily will like don't share this, but he'll send me pictures.
You're
of
on
himself.
video.
No, I'm saying he'll say don't share this picture, and he'll be like, I'm wearing them. I'm telling you, I'm wearing them. I'm showing you. And I went to his birthday party in Austin a couple of weeks ago, and we took a picture, like you do with your bros, and he just had to pull them up, for the picture to show in the picture. He's not lying. And I know a lot of guys do wear them like religiously, because some guys, when they buy them, they're like, I'm ruined. I can't wear my old underwear. And I couldn't. And I know exactly what they're saying. And so it's, so just people's anatomies are different. Some things are bigger, and anyways, we need them, some of us, more than other people, I think.
Okay.
And but some people, I'm trying to do this deal now. Like you guys probably know who Tom Segura is. He just reached out to us, his management team, saying, I see you sponsoring all these podcasts. You want to sponsor his? And I'm like, I was like, I love him. He's the best. What's the price? But also I need to send you some, I need to make sure he wants them. Yeah. We sponsor so many people now that it's like, okay, I'm going to be very selective going forward. Cause we've actually, I got a little bit too loosey-goosey with everything, because
that can happen very easily.
All of our ads were hitting like home runs, so I'm like,
you had a little bit of extra money to spend on to test them more things.
So we tested quite a few things out, got a little like risky. I don't know what the word for that would be, but just I didn't do what we would normally do, which is make sure they like them, send them a pair, try it out. Don't just I can tell. I can tell. Everyone can tell. Bob Minery was another guy. He's this huge voice. He's the Buffalo Wild Wings voice. He does like really funny Instagram thing where he goes over. He's like an ESPN sportscaster voice, and he'll have. It's really funny. I'm not going to try to do it, but same thing. We paid him before he tried them. He did this garbage read. It was like he didn't. I mean, I'm like, he's even saying I'm not wearing them right now. I haven't really tried them. I'm like, what do you? I paid that dude $10,000, and like these, and I'm talking big money deals with like Bill Burt and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's, and I have to, so like I got to be
for sure. You got to
more just reserved or responsible.
For sure, yeah. And it's also just, it could also I could imagine it could be just exciting to have your brand on some certain podcast. But I mean, if it's not profitable, then there's no point for it.
The one thing Malice did for me that was so awesome was he said, I'm going on Rogan. And this is it's insider baseball, but I don't really care. He said, how much will you pay me to talk about Sheath on Joe Rogan? And I was like, 10 grand. And he's like, done. And the funny thing was, though, he did it.
Yeah.
It was the last 20 seconds of a 4-hour podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But I still agreed. And it was so cool because he goes, Rogan does his thing. He said, do you have anything you want to talk about? Where can people find you?
Well, that's a cheap Rogan ad, essentially, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Rogan charges, but it's probably more than that.
80. It's so expensive. I'm not joking you. It's like 80 grand for one of those 1 minute.
That's smart on you, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
or smart on him
both
for
of us.
asking you.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And you could watch the clip on our YouTube and Instagram, but Rogan was saying our name, Sheath Underwear. He's like, Sheath Underwear, is it good? It's good.
I seen the video you edited of it.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Okay.
He wanted to stretch it out a little bit because, like I said, it was only 20 seconds, and he made it like a minute.
Yeah, he made it comedic a little bit, like added music and some little effects.
That was a highlight of my entire life. I've loved Joe Rogan since, just when I started listening to his podcast, not like Fear Factor. He was cool and everything, but it was when I was listening to him talking about subjects of being a man, and not being a little wimpy boy.
For sure.
And I was like, I like this. I liked the Army. When I was in the Army, they were yelling at me, calling me nothing, and you're not going to make it, and you're no good. And I was like, you want some of this? Let's go.
Yeah.
And I beat everyone in our PT. PT is like a big deal in basic training. It's all PT, running, push-ups, sit-ups, and the whole thing. And I was 26. I'm very average size, stature, muscular ability and whatnot, but heart. I feel like I have a heart of a lion, and I love a challenge. And so when they told me I wouldn't be, amount to anything, I like that. But a lot of people fold. A lot of people were crying. People were quitting in basic training. I cannot deal with this. I want out. And I was like, did you not see Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Yeah. Well, sweet. So tell us a little bit about what you told me about Tim Dillon's ad read.
Oh, I love Tim Dillon's ad reads. So, yeah, he got to listen to his show to hear our
How has he painted you?
He paints me as a war criminal, the butcher of Baghdad. And,
Okay.
A lot of worse things, even really, like a murderer. But I guess that's all the same. But, it's funny because his manager called me and said, look, I need to get your permission because all of Tim Dillon's other ad read sponsors were complaining about his ad reads. And so they have to get permission going forward to do what he wants or whatever. And I said, just let him do what he wants.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'll make it as crazy as possible. And they're pretty wild.
He ran with it. He heard that and he was like, okay.
And I think we're the only one, maybe one other, I'm not sure, that let him just go off the deep end. Because he's saying I'm like raping dogs and all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, but
that's him though. If you know Tim Dillon, that's what he does.
And I'm flattered that he would make me into a joke.
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest comics alive.
For sure.
And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And so we could also discuss a little bit about what you did with Mark Normand. That's an interesting. I've told a few people about it because it's just such an interesting thing that you guys did.
Well, we did you're talking about the ad campaign?
Yes, the ad campaign, yeah.
Yeah, that was sweet. So he's a comedian from New York. He was opening for Amy Schumer and Jerry Seinfeld. He's been on Rogan a few times and has 2 podcasts himself. We Might Be Drunk and Tuesdays with Stories. Hilarious. And they reached out, asked, because we was already sponsoring a podcast, and he said, they wanted to do an ad campaign. I was like, tell me more. And they presented all these cool ideas, concepts, and I was like, ooh, that sounds good. And we paid him, and one of them was going up on stage at one of those famous New York comedy clubs with the big brick background, like the Improv or something, and he was doing comedy in our underwear.
Okay, yeah.
And he was like
just the underwear.
Yeah, just the underwear, telling jokes about underwear, and that was us being able to use that for marketing. And he was doing, it was called a Be Bulge. That was instead of Be Bold.
Yeah, I love it.
That was the campaign, and just a lot of funny, quirky, witty pictures and videos of him walking around New York in our underwear. It was really cool. Yeah.
So is all these sponsorships, do they come through? Are these all people under the Gaslight Network, or
no? And it's I love that. That's kind of funny. Gaslight.
Yeah.
Gas Digital.
Gas Digital, Gaslight.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said
No,
Gaslight.
but that's a funny one. That would be a better name. They should have named it Gaslight.
Yeah, that is funny because it falls in place with a lot of the comedians. Like with what Tim Dillon does. He's not gaslighting anyone, but he is in a sense kind of doing.
Yeah,
it,
he's but for fun.
For
and
comedy.
funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it all started. Who did we start sponsoring first? I really wanted to sponsor Rogan. Okay, that's what happened. I wanted to sponsor Rogan, and I couldn't. So anytime someone would go on his show that I liked, I would find who their management was, see if we could sponsor them, and see if we could get some of that spill off from Rogan's, because it was too expensive. He wouldn't talk to us. I don't know why. He's sponsored by another company. I won't say their name.
Okay.
Because they're lame. But,
okay.
Everyone knows who they are anyways.
Okay.
But we get the second best thing at a much better price, and so a lot of our sponsorships came from that.
Nice. Okay, that was through the Gas Digital, a lot through that. There's someone you work with. Do you work directly with them, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's really cool. I have a really good relationship. They're kind of a smaller startup as well, and Louis J. Gomez and Ralph Sutton are the owners.
And that's Legion of Skanks?
Yeah, Legion of Skanks. He's on the Real Ass podcast and Believe You Me with Michael Bisping, former UFC middleweight champion of the world, which I get to, I listen to them. Part of the Problem, Michael Malice is on there, but not Tim Dillon and not Mark Norman. They're with this lady. Well, they split up also, but this lady Fanny. I could give you any information if you ever want any of that, contact information.
No, for sure. Well, that's what's up, man. So what about Riff Raff?
Oh yeah,
You done some stuff with Riff Raff?
Yeah, Riff Raff, the rapper from Florida, Houston, wild man. We've done a couple collaboration pairs with him because he's super into his style.
Oh yeah, he's over the top with his style.
Over the top, yeah. And he designed a pair with us, and it was really popular.
It's probably had like candy colors, huh?
It was purple candy, pink panther, peach,
blueberry diamond.
Yeah, he calls these a blueberry ball basket.
That's so good. He comes up with names like that all the time, just off the fly.
Yeah, he was really funny on Hot Ones. That's a funny.
Okay, I haven't seen him on that actually.
Yeah, because we work with him, I started, looking into him more. Yes, Tiptoeing in My Jordans is really cool. We're actually featured in one of his videos called Pinnacle of a Silhouette. No, Silhouette of a Pinnacle. It's a new release. It has probably over 1 million views by now, but it's a really fun video. And SHEATH, there's some girls dancing and like aerobics and stuff, and they're wearing one of them is wearing the SHEATH band. So we're in a music video. I'm actually in some music video he did. There's a guy named Cash Motivated. When I was at Riff Raff's house doing a photo shoot, they simultaneously shot a music video, because Swagga Bob was there, and we're like, oh, Swag. So they put us in these weird jackets. We went to like this room in the back of his house, and he had all these clothes. He's like collecting 80s memorabilia clothes, but really those cool like Nike Air jackets and really fun, weird colors. He's into like these colors. And anyway, so we all put on like crazy jacket with big old goggles, and we're all like dancing in the background. You probably won't be able to tell that it's even us by the way they were filming it, but that was fun.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's like, why would I want $500 million when I can go do fun stuff like this?
Exactly. Yeah. And that actually kind of segues into where I was going to go with the next question, which is, where do you want to go with this company? What is the future hold for SHEATH?
A 1,000-year dynasty.
Okay. a 1,000-year Reich? Or no, just kidding.
My struggle. Yes. No. We're gonna just keep growing and keep giving and keep inspiring people, because I'm so average. I'm 5'8", 150. All the average thing, IQ, like all the things. right there in the middle. And so nothing special except
Okay.
some books I read, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, your mindset, I think, is probably a huge part of it.
And I think a lot of it came from these books.
Mm-hmm.
At least,
Well, that's where mindset usually comes,
Yeah.
like, kind of derives from.
yeah, because like your Bible, for instance, which
Mhm.
there's some inspirational stuff in there, but Think and Grow Rich is my Bible.
Okay.
And every time we meet a new goal, we set a new goal. I
Mhm.
never really take time to sit and rest on my laurels, as people would say, or
Mhm.
even pat myself on the back. I'm not like, you're the shit, man. You're the best ever.
Okay.
No, never. It's actually the other way around
Mhm.
90% of the time.
You're a piece of shit, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Every now, well, I've gotten better at that.
Okay,
a
good.
lot
Yeah,
better at
the
that.
negative
And
self-talk.
I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't really do that anymore, but we all have done it, or from time to time still do it. And if I ever do it, I catch myself, but it's actually pretty rare these days.
Good.
I don't talk at all to I mean, I'm like I don't think that much. I
Mhm.
listen to this guy named Eckhart Tolle, and he talks about like living in the now and in the present and just shutting off all that extra thought, because it's all repetitive thoughts anyways. Same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And if I ever do have that, it's probably something I need to do. So write it down and do it probably. So
The last guest that talked about Eckhart Tolle, his episode got picked up by the algorithm and it blew up. So, blew up compared to the
I
other
love
ones.
Eckhart
So,
Tolle.
so this is a good sign for this episode.
Good. Well, because he's preaching the real talk, and all of us are in our minds too much, telling ourselves we can't do things that. Why not? So like people say, why me? And I say, why not me? And it is all a mindset. You got to read these books and really meditate on it and think that you can, because there's people telling you can't. Don't listen to them.
No, for sure. Yeah. Okay, sweet. Well, where are we at with this episode? We're 51. And it's recording over there? Audio's recording? All right, good.
We don't want to lose this.
Because
I love a good podcast.
Because for some reason the audio is not recording over here. So this is the backup audio, though. So
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't need it. We shouldn't need it. No. It'll be all good. So what did you say we're at? 51. We typically keep these episodes around an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So we can start wrapping up. I'm sure we could definitely dive in to more things if you want. And I was just thinking as this episode was going on, like now that we're doing them once a week, maybe we can actually go longer than that if we want to. But we already recorded one episode earlier today. We've been in here since 9. So
now we'll start wrapping it up. But I was thinking one thing that might be interesting. I brought some of these underwear, and I figured maybe we would show them.
Yeah, no, I wanted to show them. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
But
we don't have to show us putting them on though.
No. I have them here. They're inside out. I'm just gonna show you. I'll do my little spiel.
Yeah.
So like, they look like normal underwear on the outside. Regular underwear, boxer briefs. But it's not what's on the outside that's important. I think I already said this.
Yeah.
It's what's on the inside that truly matters.
Yeah.
Like my mama said.
That's what you should. Your book. If you write a book, you should title it that. It's not what's on the. It's what's on the inside.
It's what's on the inside. So as you can see, there's a pouch here. It's an amply sized pouch for the boys, kangaroo pouch for your Joey, and I could leave it at that. That's the main function. You can figure out the rest, but it just keeps your boys off your legs, and I try to keep it like classy, so I don't want to, get too. Just use your imagination.
No, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't the Tim Dillon podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You get it, but like I said, sheathunderwear.com, promo code RPG20 would save 20%. That's my podcast, also. Like I said earlier.
Yeah.
But
RPG20, and people can save 20%. You guys have female underwear as well, too.
We do. We are a little bit sold out. We started introducing the female line in 2018 as a complement to the men's line.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't have a pouch.
No pouch.
Unless they want it so they can hide things in it.
Yeah, and women know there's this weird little pouchy thing in the crotch area, but we're actually working on that. We're going to replace that. We're going to make that a cotton pouch, because there's something about pH balances with women, and so we're actually taking the women's.
So you're innovating on it
more
and thinking
seriously. Oh yeah, we have a team of women actively working.
What does a woman want out of underwear, essentially? Kind of how you were able to find a problem So you're looking for a problem that you could help solve moving forward.
A lot of it I found has to do with the waistline and not having like a muffin top thing happening. You want it to just like blend right into the body. They don't really want to feel it. They just want to be
Interesting. Yeah.
And you know, material is a concern because certain materials can kind of mess up the pH of the woman parts. So
interesting.
I mean, as a man, when we developed the women's line, we took a very popular pair of women's underwear that was selling well and kind of we did a focus group with other women, but we didn't get into that. So the fit and the look and the sexiness and all that's really cool, and you can get those. Not really right now because we're kind of sold out, because what happened was we introduced them in 2018. They didn't really take off. We started sponsoring a lot of like women fighters and women podcasters. And so the women's line is actually.
So it's marketing. So marketing is everything.
And it is a good product, but what we're okay.
Well, you also have to have a product that actually, you guys aren't just another underwear company. You guys actually have a unique value proposition essentially.
Yeah, we're looking deeper and not just making like people start shirt companies and it's just a shirt, but we're making an underwear company. It could just be underwear, or it could be the best underwear that you've ever had.
Yeah,
and we're doing it, and we're doing what we can to keep innovating and you know. The women's line is coming along. It's going to be for like a natural woman. You know, the ones we have now are for UFC fighter women and like teenage women, kind of that are just not hard body, rail thin, like the Kardashian, whatever, not the Kardashians, but the one Kendall. You know what I'm talking about. But like, you know, a 30-year-old or like 28 or whatever, you know, as you don't wear the same kind of underwear anymore. So we're going to still have what we have now, but we're going to introduce a more comfort luxury kind of line for women.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, and I was just thinking too, it's like there's bras and men never had bras, and now you've made it essentially. It's not a bra, but I mean like if yeah, exactly. If you compare apples and oranges, that's what you guys have done.
and they both prevent the same thing, which is that skin on skin contact. Like for instance, if you guys haven't got the picture, if you hold your hands together and just sit there with your hands clasped for a minute or two, they're going to get hot. They're going to start sweating. That skin on skin contact creates heat, creates friction, creates discomfort. So what we're doing is we're just eliminating that skin on skin contact, and it's as simple as pie. It's a no-brainer, and with the 100% money back guarantee, you know,
why not? Yeah. All right. So people, where can people go to either follow you, your podcast, or buy some Sheath right now?
I would go to sheathunderwear.com, get yourself some Sheath. Then if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see our blogs, my podcast, the RPG Global Podcast. I really would like people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're right under 1,200 subscribers. Like the thing with underwear companies, and I look at other underwear companies, it's like they don't have these huge followings. Why? Because they're underwear companies, and I get it. I mean, but some do, like Versace, and like some do, but like our competitors, we're all in like the 20,000 range when it comes to like Instagram, and 1,000 range for YouTube. But we're trying to elevate us from just an underwear company, but kind of like not Jackass, but kind of like that. Some personality behind.
Definitely, yeah. Though I think that's where every brand's gonna have to go, anyways. Yeah. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk's talked about that a lot as well. Like, you got to have more than just your. You got to be an actual thing.
Yeah, and people do. I've heard people like the story. They want to like with fighters, with sports. If you know the person fighting, as opposed to just some anonymous dude, you're more engaged.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even really liked. I mean, not that I didn't like it. I just never really paid attention to fighting or UFC. But I know Elijah Smith. Shout out Elijah Smith, local fighter. And like, I'm pumped every time he's fighting. I went to one of his recent fights. It was really awesome to see him like do his thing, and he's a beast. Like, he's been training for a long time, and he's got a really good trainer.
His dad was in the UFC. His dad was on the Ultimate Fighter 2 times. I've trained at Victory MMA. Definitely highly recommend that. We work with Dylan King, who also fights out of Victory. He just joined Fury. We have Brandon Moreno, who's the UFC champion, though. Like, we have all levels from, beginner stages and these lower organizations all the way to the champion of the whole world, baby.
Yeah, sweet, man.
It's been just, it's like a vision, a goal, and one after one, you knock them down and keep going. Don't pat yourself on the back too much. Just that's one thing I've realized. Every time I pat myself on the back too much, I see a fall off for like money. I feel like it's like the journey. I mean, it's just it's about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the journey, and like, because when you get there, then what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna do something else now.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Yeah. And that's why I've set my journey to Mars, because I'll never get there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to get there. But
it's quite possible.
Yeah, it's definitely quite possible.
People working on it. I'm working on anti-aging formulas.
Oh, okay.
Not personally, but I hear, a lot of the Silicon Valley billionaires are on that, and I'm paying close attention. I've heard things, stem cells, and all these different. I'll take a battery pack, whatever. Just stick it,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to. Ever since I was 16, I've been wanting to live forever. So
yeah, I like life, and I have a lot more to do. I'm learning Spanish and the piano and pottery, and sign language, and just keep, living. There's so much fun to have, and so
yeah. And I mean, I guess on that note, we could start wrapping it up. There was a thought I wanted to explore a little bit as you were saying that, but it had to do with Mars and how I'll say it anyway. Screw it.
Go for it.
I was telling you about it. Like, I really want to start I don't know how I want to phrase it, but I guess a jetpack company essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to really get into that, like that world, because I want to basically have a video production company that utilizes jetpacks, essentially, like that as well, like that as a side. But I would love just to really get into that. And I was like, what do you call that? Like human propulsion? Like, is a car human propulsion? I don't know. So,
well, we'll definitely do a commercial. The guy will be in sheath underwear, wearing one of your jetpacks, flying over Colorado Springs, and that would be. We'll go viral on that one.
That would be great, man. Like, I might have to just go and rent a jetpack so we can do that tomorrow.
I'm right. Call me. Let's do it.
I don't know how much a jetpack costs to rent, but I'm sure it's not cheap.
You might burn your butt.
Yeah. No, I think they figured that out.
Hopefully they got past that part.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to figure that part out. So, but yeah, man. So it's great having you on the show. Should we announce your sponsorship? I just did. Oh, I guess so.
Awesome. Yeah, here we go again, baby. Sheath Underwear sponsoring this show.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. Colorado Springs Business Podcast.
Dude, we're so excited to have you as a sponsor. It's really awesome, and I'm glad that it worked out, And we're actually, I did the math. You said you like to see a return. We actually don't even have to sell that many to get a return. I did the math. Like, it's like
3 pairs
a month, So yeah, exactly. And I think I already got one sold for you. I was talking about it. So he went on the website and he's like, I'm gonna buy right now. I don't know if he actually did, but he said he was going to.
If you're a local business owner, you should do that, and we should all be supporting each other. I think that's the way I try to be.
And I think Colorado Springs has that kind of ethos too, like with wanting to support other businesses. There's a big thing that I've noticed here.
It's like a camaraderie. I know a handful of other business owners. Quick shout out: Ohana Kava Bar, Matthew Clark, Elevation Hydration, Corey Brown, Max Pohl from Balance Chiropractic, and Joshua, whatever his last name is, from the soap. He has a tea shop somewhere.
Yeah, he's got a local shop in here, like in town.
Yeah,
but that was cool. I'll have him on the show. And
he was cool.
Like he seems like he's doing some big things too as well. Like it's local, but he sells globally.
Yes,
kind of like you.
Yeah,
you're local, but you're global. You're Robert Patton global.
That's right. We sell in over 100 countries, and we're just gonna keep. We're looking into expanding into Canada, but I'm at Bobby the Bank on all the socials, aside from at Sheath Underwear on the from the company social, and that's all across all platforms. Those are the 2 handles.
Sounds good, man. Well, this has been the COS Business Podcast, sitting here today with Robert Patton of Sheath, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. All right. Usually there's music there too, but
That happened to me too when I wasn't recording with Gilbert one time.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah. He did an episode with Gilbert as well.
Yeah, I did one, lost the whole thing. The second one, I forgot. I only got like 45 minutes. I'm such an idiot.